And now it's time for Southern California's sports fishing voice. Let's talk hookup. For the next 2 hours, join Pete Gray, rock cod Rick Maxa, and this week's special expert guest for fishing information, new techniques to catch more fish, and the most current scoop on what's happening in the water. Let's Talk Hookup is sponsored in part by Yamaha Outboards, official motor sponsor of Let's Talk Hookup. Royal Polaris, the world's finest long-range sports fisher. By Ford, the official truck of Let's Talk Hookup, and Shimano Rods and Reels. Fish with the best. Shimano. Get ready for the fastest 2 hours on radio with the hosts of Let's Talk Hookup, Pete Gray and Rock Cod Rick Maxa.
Good morning, anglers, and welcome to Let's Talk Hookup. I'm Pete Gray with Rock Cod Rick Maxa. We're in the mighty 1090 studios with the one and only Captain Jimmy Decker. It's been a while since Jimmy been in the studio with us, but we're going to be talking some bass fishing, and more. You stay tuned. Southern California's sport fishing voices. Let's Talk Hookup on the mighty 1090. It's summertime in San Diego, and that means a couple of things. The getting is good for yellowfin and bluefin off our Southern California coast. A road trip to bag some high Sierra trout sounds like a great weekend. And the Ford Summer Sales event has started at your San Diego County Ford dealers. In fishing, we love to get away, and we love to have the best gear. And right now is the perfect time to upgrade to a brand new Ford truck or SUV. The absolute best piece of fishing gear you could have. During the summer sales event, your San Diego County Ford dealers have great offers on a wide variety of trucks and SUVs, including great financing and cashback offers on some of the most popular models. They've got deals across their lineup to get you into the perfect size SUV for you. And they've got deals on F-150, Motor Trend's 2018 Truck of the Year. Great payload and towing capabilities make it the perfect piece of tackle. Learn more at buyfordnow.com or visit your San Diego County Ford dealers today. They'll be glad to hook you up.
Alaska is one of the ultimate fishing destinations in the world. This is Rock Cod Rick, and every year the one trip I look forward to is Kingfisher Charters in Sitka, Alaska. My dad and I have been going for over 15 years, and I just can't wait to go again. No one does it better than Kingfisher Charters. They offer the best service, the most comfortable accommodations, fantastic food, the finest fishing charter captains in all of Sitka, and the ultimate value. Sure, I've been to others, but time and time again, nobody beats Kingfisher Charters. You can catch huge halibut like the ones we do almost every year, and salmon, well, Sitka is famous for some of the best runs in Alaska. We also get plenty of rockfish and huge lingcod. And when it comes to fish processing, the best in Alaska is Kingfisher Charters. And listen to this, it's all included in your package. In fact, everything is included except the tips. It's truly amazing how the Kingfisher crew continues the quality of service they deliver year after year. Come and join me on the Let's Talk Hookup trip in June, or just go when you can. Kingfisher Charters, 800-727-6136, or check kingfishercharters.com.
Bluefin tuna are here, and now is the time to take advantage of this amazing bite. The hot jig last year and this season is the Shimano Butterfly Flat Fall Jig. It's a totally new concept of butterfly jigging, but deadly effective. Best part, it's very simple to fish, the Shimano Flat Fall. Drop the jig down to where the fish are holding, then crank it up 30 feet and then free spool. Or cast the jig and let it fall while in free spool. Wait for the bite, then put it in gear and wind. It's that easy. The Shimano Flat Fall is a center balanced jig and falls with a wobbling action in a horizontal position, making it irresistible to big bluefin tuna. Hundreds of big fish have been caught on the Flat Fall, ranging in size from the 130 gram to the 250 gram. They're back in stock now at your local Shimano dealer. So get yours now and go catch a fish of a lifetime on the Shimano Butterfly Flat Fall Jig. See your local dealer or check Shimano.com for all the details.
Welcome back to Let's Talk Hookup on the mighty 1090.
All right, Captain Decker, what's been going on?
Good morning.
Jimmy?
Good to see you, Jimmy. Of course, I saw you and Tracy down at Rancho Leonero when we were down there for our tournament in June. You were hanging out down there, and I said, Jimmy, man, it's been a long time since you've been on the show. We got to – this is, of course, over a margarita at the bar.
Margarita or two.
Yeah. And I said, we got to get you on the show. Yeah. So here he is.
Yep.
Great to have you, man.
Yeah, it's nice.
What
nice
has been going on with Captain Decker?
Well, boat work-wise, we just did a complete electrical refit on the skiff. So the Everglades I got new in 2008, so 10 years. So it got all new wire,
Yeah.
stem to stern, all new switch panels, batteries. I got 6 batteries in the thing now.
Wow.
And then we did, 3 new Evo 3 7-inches, got an autopilot. I mean, the whole 9 yards.
How awesome is that Simrad stuff?
It's pretty amazing. I mean, yesterday was the first trip that I've run since we finished it, and it's pretty mind-boggling.
Yeah.
You
The
know?
Evo 3 is like next level because I have an Evo 2 on my boat, an Evo 2 and an Evo 3. This is Simrad's touchscreen.
Yeah, multifunction.
And this Evo 3 picture is so much better than the
Really?
Evo 2, and the Evo
It's
2
crazy.
was really great. Plus, it's got wireless.
Don't say.
Right, the wireless stuff
stuff,
is amazing. Just
Guys-
right to the phone.
Yeah.
You guys both need to quit with this because I've got Evo 2s.
Yeah.
Like I don't need to be
Well, there's
hearing.
nothing
I
wrong
know.
with
I don't need to be here. I don't
Evo
need to be
2's
hearing
good
all this.
stuff.
man.
The thing that really was just like over the edge was I put the separate high-low chirp transducer in and a structure scan. So instead of getting the all-in-one,
Yeah.
we went with 2, and
Separates.
they did a great job because they're both in line in a single fairing block, you know. So I got the low-profile one in front, and then the big chirp one in back, and we were like, oh man, let's see what's going to happen with the turbulence and engine cavitation.
Sure, you
and am I
never
going
know.
to pick the bubbles up and drop the thing in the water and hit it on plane? I'm picking up the bottom at 32 knots, clear as a
32
bell.
How
knots.
cool is that?
32 knots,
Wow.
clear as a bell on the high chirp.
Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, that's nice. And so, how big is this Everglades?
24 foot.
24 foot. And so this is your
I'm done.
inshore, offshore
Yeah, seriously.
machine, right?
Yeah, inshore, offshore machine, and hopefully, I mean, that's what I had to convince Tracy that, this is it. I don't have to spend any money. I mean, I can't see how it could get any better than what they have right now.
It can always get better.
Yeah, it probably should.
Yeah.
But one thing I learned through this process is quality boat work, because I had gel coat stuff done, some other stuff done, my electronics done, is not fast
Right.
and is not cheap.
No.
So,
But
you
good-
want-
Yeah.
I mean, I was down for almost 5.5, 6 weeks.
Really.
You know.
But I believe, like you say though, good boat work isn't cheap, and cheap boat work isn't good.
Right,
Isn't
right.
good.
And that's the
that's a
truth.
good way to say
Every
it.
piece of wiring was heat shrunk and crimped. I mean, it's just it came out really clean. I couldn't be happier.
Found a really good electronics guy.
Serge Vasquez. You can find him on Facebook at Expert Marine Electronics. He's mobile. Came to the house,
That's cool.
worked on it on the trailer, and I mean.
And that's worth its weight in gold too, because you run your boat every day and you take care of passengers and passenger safety and all that kind of stuff. I mean, it has to work right all the time, And
electronics and wiring is so important.
Yeah,
on a boat.
no doubt.
Yeah, and doing it right is such an important thing because that environment is so harsh.
Yeah, so I've missed a little bit of fishing, but I'm not sad about it. It's not going anywhere.
And now, did you have autopilot on it before?
No.
Oh, well, you're done now.
I know.
It's like people go, I'm not sure I should get an
Bring
autopilot.
on
Like,
Marlin season.
Just get the autopilot because you'll never go back once you have it.
That's what everybody
Yeah, what did
tells
you put
me.
on?
I got the good one. I got the one that's built for the boats up to 38 feet.
Nice. The AP-27 with the dial?
AP-44.
AP-44.
Yeah.
Wow.
You guys are big time. We got AP-24.
Simrad makes the best autopilot.
Yeah,
period.
I went with the
There's
44.
Nothing that comes close to
I went with the 44 because it's got that really beefy compass and it's got the dial and all that.
Dial
I
is
mean,
kill.
The thing that's so great is you just hit an X on your cursor and you say go back to it, and it just takes you right back to wherever the X. It's not like, where'd that kelp go, man? Oh, it's right there where I put the X. Beep, takes you right back to it.
Yeah, I got a good story about the dial. A very good friend of ours, Mark Wheeler from Encinitas Ford, just put a beautiful 62-foot Nomad together, and he's on his way south actually right now. And he went with another brand, which I can't figure out why he did that. But they put the autopilot in, and he's like, I hate this autopilot. It has no dial.
All right.
And, once you get the dial thing going on the autopilot, there's nothing like it.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah,
it's great.
Really cool.
We fished a couple weeks ago on a Bud's boat, or several weeks ago now, that didn't have an autopilot. I don't remember what it was like to try and fish a Yummy Flyer without having that. Like you're just
being on the wheel the whole time.
trying to keep the bait on the trying to keep the bait off the the side of the boat, and then position around, and then dealing with other boats coming at you back and forth. Been so crowded out there that I just can't imagine.
Yeah.
I can't go back. Can't go back.
So you've been fishing calicos and
only yesterday was really my first day back with Dr. Chris. We took the boat out. he's got the place down here now, so I drug the skiff down here, and we just fished from Mission Bay down to the point there.
Awesome.
It was fun fishing, downhill current, a little bit of a west breeze. They were biting on all the outside little point spots, but we had a really fun day. We fished from, I picked him up at 6. I was back on the trailer at 12:30. We had 40 fish of like 5 pounds.
Wow.
That's awesome.
All on artificial.
All on the hard baits, yesterday.
Yeah.
I got one on one of Corey's weedless that he sent me, but they wanted the hard bait yesterday.
That's cool.
So when you're fishing tight to the kelp. How are you fishing that hard bait? Because there's a lot of stuff to grab.
Yesterday it was nice because the current had it laid down, so it was kind of like fishing the surface iron over it. It's laid down, just fire it down the lanes and ripping it back. But the one that I'm fishing only runs about 14 inches deep. I'm throwing like a big, 10.5-inch muskie type bait with the 6 hooks hanging. I was pin cushioned yesterday.
Ooh.
And Dr. Chris was fishing the SP minnow, and they're amazing. For how much hardware's hanging down below the things, they're amazingly weedless. The way that the hooks tuck up behind the baits while you're ripping them through, and the hooks are so sharp. If you keep changing them out, that once you get a little snag, you just give it a little rip, and it'll rip right through unless you hang the big meat of it.
Sure. What rig are you casting that with?
I'm fishing Toro 60. Or 50, the wider spool, bigger new Abu Garcia reels, and then I
Double wine.
Yeah, then I have an older that I found in the garage, my new favorite hardbait rod's a 20-year-old Shikari, 8.5-foot something. I don't know the number on one of the old green ones,
So same rig that you would cast a swim bait.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Whatever it may be.
That hardbait fishing is really, in the last however long, become like the very popular thing. I mean, it was something that almost was done for the sake of like, hey, check it out, I caught one on a crankbait. How funny is that? To now it's like an everyday tool in your arsenal, and you're talking about them biting that better than anything yesterday.
They're biting it better. When I equate it a lot to golfing. You can either drive good, which is a swim bait, or you can, there's so many clubs in your bag, and you got to get good with all of them. So I about 3 years ago, I completely stopped fishing rubber.
Really?
Yeah, I went to straight crankbait fishing. And I fished a crankbait for probably a year and a half solid. That was all I was throwing was a crankbait. Just to learn how to get them to bite it, 16-foot, 8-foot diver, 22 feet. I mean, I'm catching fish in, 65 feet of water on a crankbait that runs at 16 feet.
Mm-hmm. Really?
Yeah.
Wow. So like a freshwater.
Exactly.
Big lip crankbait. I
mean, here's the secret one is the Evergreen CR16. That's my go-to crankbait. But it's over hard bottom structure spots, and then I started getting into the SP minnow and the bigger musky baits and the stuff that I'm finding online and on eBay. And I've been fishing that. I mean, for the last 3 years, I don't think I've thrown, anything besides Corey's weedless bait. Mm-hmm. That's the only rubber worm I've been throwing.
Weedless, yeah.
Hardbait fishing's fun. It's very addicting, and it's
the bites too are
jarring.
They're violent, or they're they eat it on a pause, and when you go to rip the thing again, it rips the rod back out of your hand.
Dr. Chris had a few of those yesterday.
Love it. Yeah, that's so cool.
Yesterday.
And bass fishing along the Southern California coast now is pretty darn good, right?
Oh, it's fun. This year is really good along the beach, the front side of Catalina up on the west end above. What's it called? I forget the name of the little point up there. But anything up on the front side west end of Cat's going crazy. The whole front side of Clementi's on fire right now. I mean, the bass. If you like calico bass fishing, it's really good right now in just about every spot.
The cool thing about it too is there's so many other good avenues right now. How crazy good the offshore fishing has been for the last several years that. It's gotten such a, it's kind of flown under the main radar. I mean, don't get me wrong, there's a bunch of hardcore guys that are still having great fishing, but, it's under the main radar when there's big tunas and everything else going on right now. It gets a good break. And,
right, well, look at the sea bass fishing at the islands. Right. It's like, I mean, for the last month, it didn't matter if it was on the moon, off the moon, whatever. Guys are scoring. Sport boats are scoring, and the private boat guys that want to fish are scoring. And there's not 60 boats piled up on the squid bed,
Yeah, because they're all trying to chase.
You can get back there, and you can catch your sea bass, and then you can go do what you want to do, and you're not fighting a bunch of boats over it.
Yeah,
that's cool.
Pretty cool. And that's been the reliable deal. I mean, the calico fishing and both inshore, offshore. At the islands and stuff like that, it's just been. I mean, let's face it, the tuna fishing's been kind of unreliable this year so far. It's going to
Scratchy.
happen. It's going to go off. I mean, there's enough fish around.
It went off last night, right?
Yeah.
It has done this several times, where it yeah, exactly. I mean, there was some
that sundown or dusk.
There were some mega scores, and this year has definitely been a quality over quantity kind of thing. I mean, a sport boat will go out there and they not only catch 3 or 5 or 6 or whatever, but it's hurricane bank grade. I mean,
right.
It really is. It's crazy. And then
in your backyard.
These last couple days, there's been several scores of instead of 3 or 5 or 6, it's 10 or 15
right.
or 18. And I mean, again, when you're talking fish that are 150 to 300 pounds, you also don't get all of them. You know what I mean?
Right.
That's one of those things that you got to look at. To get fish of that size, there are casualties that big, and it doesn't matter how perfect your gear is and how perfect the crew is. Those big ones come off, man. They do. They're real big, and they're not easy to catch.
Yeah, no kidding. So you had a little bit of fish this week, right?
We did, yeah. We had probably what will be very difficult to top in our lifetime of private boat fishing trips. Fished on Wednesday afternoon after work. We ran out to San Clemente and stayed the night there and came back Thursday midday, and we had a 200-pound bluefin tuna to go along with our 300-pound broadbill swordfish.
So give us a story on the swordfish, because that was a pretty epic
deal.
Yeah,
that is like my lifetime bucket list fish. If you could draw,
so give us a story. Tell us how it all went down.
Yeah. So we were fishing. We were fishing for big bluefins. That was our game plan.
Who's we?
Myself, my boat partner Neil Barber, and then our really good buddy Blake Wasano, who
the
works
one
on the
and
Royal
only.
Star. Oh yeah,
man, great Blake Wasano from the Royal Star.
Yeah, just a tank of a dude, and when Pete and I have talked about it a bunch of times. Blake's been on the Royal Star for probably 10 years or so, and when you're attached to a 200-pounder. That's like the number one guy you want by your side.
Here, pull on this.
If you ever want to make yourself feel bad about how hard you think you're pulling, wait till there's some little tangle or some go around the anchor line where you have to hand your rod to Blake for a minute and watch him pull on your fish. It'll really make you feel bad about how hard you think that you're pulling.
Yeah.
But anyway, so the three of us went out really stoked with the game plan of catching a big bluefin, and we got to the area we were planning on fishing around Clemente, and the wind was it wasn't blowing as much as you would really hope. It was kind of difficult to get the kite up, but we did, helium balloon and a kite, and we got it up and going and got it skipping and got it outside the boat as good as we would want to, and we're fishing, and we had it way further back than we probably should have, long ways away. We weren't fishing a streamer, and so I'm like peering back. I was watching the flyer as hard as I could, straining, and I just hear this, expletive. Oh, dude, swordfish right there, guaranteed, flagging high and dry. And Neil's like, there's one right here. And sure enough, we look over, and maybe 20 yards away, there was a swordie. And it was funny that on the way over, we were all talking about sword fishing. I can't believe we haven't seen one this year. I know there's been around, and we look all the time. And then we were also talking about how you can see a ton of things that you think are a swordfish that are not, until you see it. It's just the most no doubter. I mean, how many times have we all been faked out by a sea lion flipper or a mola, whatever, and then it's just like the second that it's there, it's like, oh my God,
that's one.
Yeah, there it is,
all purple and everything.
And at the time, he was just flagging, tail and dorsal up, high and dry, and so we went into the mode of, well, what are we gonna do? And we had a swordfish leader on the boat, kind of ready for that type of thing, and we had a Talica 20 with 80-pound fluorocarbon that was a flat fall rig, and we just quickly cut the flat fall off of it, grabbed the swordfish leader, tied it up, and we had a half a tank of mackerel with us. And we left our kite, and I don't even remember what happened to it. We had it on a balloon, and we had to turn away from wind, which would normally make your kite drop. But fortunately, we had the balloon on it, and it was just doing whatever. We could care less at that point, and we slid up to the fish, and he was doing his doing a circle, which they often do up on the surface, and we made a cast, and the bait landed just exactly where he wanted. 8 feet off the tip of the nose of the thing, and the bait took off, and the exact same time.
Who made the cast?
Blake Wasano. Yeah, Blake Wasano pinned the bait on, made the cast right on the nose of the fish, and you saw the dorsal fin and the tail twitch at the same time. Mackerel takes off, swordfish takes off right after with it, and like within 1 second, you always know when your bud's got a bite too. You know, everything changes from the rod is like casually in your hand, letting line come off, to like all of a sudden guys hunched over like freaking out, and we both at the same time, oh man, we're bit for sure. And a second later comes tight, and still maybe the coolest thing, Pete, I've ever seen in fishing. Comes tight, fish starts pulling a little bit of line, swimming to the left. And, like, the sun was, like, just kind of starting to go down, but still up, island in the background, and that thing launched out of the water.
Wow. Now,
when we saw this fish finning, we figured he was a small one, like a good catchable size, 100, maybe 150-pounders.
Got a lot bigger when it came out of the water.
Thing comes out of the water, 100% chrome on the bottom, 100% like electric neon purple on the top, and just launches 50 feet away from the boat, and we just, oh my God, he's a lot bigger than we thought he was.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, exactly.
What was the rig?
We had it on a Shimano Talica 22-speed that was full of 100-pound Spectra and a short top shot, maybe a 10-foot top shot of 80-pound fluorocarbon and about 3 feet of 150-pound fluorocarbon with a big 8.0 J-hook. And,
wow.
And just started pulling on him, and, I'm a freak about those things. I've never caught one before, but, run with a crowd of guys through the shop that know a lot about it, and they all say the same thing: pull as hard as you can and take a shot whenever you can get it, because if you don't, you'll pull on them forever. And we've all heard every story about, these things take 5 hours and 15 hours.
23 hours.
Yeah, and we pulled on that thing as if we hooked it on 200 pounds.
Like tag team.
As hard as we could. Blake took the first round, and as we talked about before, the kid's an animal. No doubt about it.
Nobody pulls as hard as Blake.
Nobody.
That I've ever known.
Nobody.
Yeah.
And, we're cow tuna fishing guys. That's what we love to do, and our boat's set up pretty well for that. We got a real high bow rail, and we rail rodded that thing, and we pulled on it as hard as we could muster, and Blake got that fish to the boat in probably 15 minutes. Maybe probably 10 to 15 minutes. It came for a look of what's going on.
What's this pulling on?
Yeah, and Neil and I both said the same thing. Like, if this fish gives us a shot, we're taking it. No matter what happens. It could go really bad, but we're going to take our shot. And it gave us a shot, and Neil got the first shot, and I had him backed up within a half of a second. We both had good shots in the fish, and Blake threw the rod in the rod holder, put the clicker on, and he got a third gaff into it, and it was not time to gaff that fish. And he went a little on the crazy side, for sure. Broke my gaff that I had into him, just a Calcutta, sport boat style gaff. He broke that one. Neil and Blake had it real good. And we just said, we're putting this thing in the boat. It's probably going to jack the boat up, whatever. We can fix fiberglass and scratches. And we got it about halfway up and out of the water, and it was just going crazy. And it ripped off both the gaffs, back in the water, line screaming off the reel. We're thinking, okay, that's it. This is how it went away. But we put the
put a hurt on him.
Took the reel out of gear. That was the one thing that we knew. Yeah, is we poked some holes in them and took a bunch of line off the reel again. I took the rod this time. Same exact thing, pulling as hard as one could do. It was everything I had in the gas tank.
Still that
pulling
thing
on
with
that
holes
fish.
in them was still pulling hard.
Dude, like nothing I've ever been attached to, for sure. Came back up, got him back up in probably another 10 minutes or so, and he was making a big circle got him up two on the surface, and same deal, pulling real hard. And he was kind of cutting to the right with his dorsal fin out of the water. And had it broke at this point, I would have done a somersault, like squeezing the spool with my left hand and my right hand as high as I could on the rod, keeping the rod super high, pulling backwards with all my weight. I broke his turn and pointed him straight at the boat. And he came at the boat so hot that his bill hit the side of the boat, and Neil and Blake were both ready and stuck two perfect shots right in the noggin. He wasn't coming off of those two, and same deal. We had two gaffs in him, and just we threw him on board.
Wow.
With everything that the three of us could muster. I put the rod in the rod holder and grabbed a hold of the gaff with Neil, and we threw him on board. And when that thing came over and hit the boat, we were it was huge, dude. It was just so much bigger than we thought, and it was almost mellow for a minute. It was just perfect for us. We got a rope on its tail really quickly once it was in the boat, and we tied that off to a cleat. Blake's a big boy. He had the gaff that was in the front of the fish, and he laid down with the gaff on his chest and stretched back to kind of keep it stretched out so it couldn't go too crazy. We got another rope on its bill and cleated that off to the bow so the fish was stretched out and couldn't do too much damage, and spiked it like you would a tuna and bled it, and all of a sudden the screams and high fives and celebration, and I mean start to finish it was probably 20 minutes, 25 minutes, something like that, and the coolest experience of all of our lives for sure. It was just the best ever.
Yeah, and the thing is, Jimmy, I saw the fish. They brought it in, and by the way, we also had a 200-pound tuna in there.
Right.
We got a cow.
The next morning we caught a cow, right?
Yeah.
But anyway, it was overshadowed by this monster swordfish. What I talked about earlier, what we talked about earlier, is how big that tail is.
Oh my God, dude!
The motor on it. It's like, how do you land a fish of this power on a rod and reel?
I don't know.
Right.
Either. I don't know either, dude. I promise you.
Most people don't.
Most people don't. Yeah.
Everybody we talked to, like, oh, those guys harpooned it or they shot it. I mean, I'm telling you, by the gospel, that thing was, we casted a sardine on 80-pound and we wound his butt in and put gaffs in him and threw him on the boat. And I'm with the tail. You just can't fathom how big around it is at the base of the tail. I mean, think about how big it is to put both your hands together to make a circle. It's 4 times.
It's all of our hands.
Yeah,
probably couldn't get around it.
That's the crazy thing that impressed me when I saw that fish, is how the bulk of it's not a super long fish, but the bulk of that fish. If that fish was a marlin, it would be twice the length.
Oh yeah,
but this is just like total muscle.
They're called gladiators for a reason.
And that was kind of
king of the sea.
When you see one, it's like you go, whoa, wow.
And the greatest thing is to get it with your buddies.
You got it.
You know, it wasn't, on a boat down fishing in Cabo or, with some other people that you didn't know. I mean, you're with your diehard best friends on your skiff.
You got it,
and you get the fish of a lifetime,
you know. And the way that you want it, like that, like I said, that fish is on the highest top of my bucket list. And if it is to anybody, you could go to Miami and drop a bait to the bottom and probably catch one on electric reel, but it just wouldn't be the same.
Not the
same. This was, we caught it with
SoCal surface, swordfish, sight casting.
Yeah, with a mackerel that we caught for bait, with, wind-ons that we made and leaders that we crimped, and like baits that we pinned and like it was the boys,
All on the 25-foot Parker.
Yeah, on a 25 Parker center call. And like, same deal, like that night we anchored up in Pyramid there, and we're surrounded by some beautiful rigs that were doing the same thing, big bitchin' yachts, and we're watching like the satellite TV like through their windows. There were 3 of us, 3 kids like sleeping in sleeping bags on an open center console, but I guarantee we had the only swordfish.
That's right.
I can imagine.
It was really cool.
Well, congratulations to you and Blake and Neil Barber. Neil Barber's an amazing fisherman.
Best fisherman I know.
Unbelievable.
For sure.
I think he is the best fisherman in Southern California.
Just
for a skiff fisherman.
Yeah.
Period.
I mean,
I don't think there's anybody better.
I would agree. He's certainly the best fisherman I know that doesn't have a single social media account.
Yeah,
you want to talk about a guy that doesn't puff his chest?
Yeah.
Neil, who is my boat partner, he fishes more than any person I know, and he just, he's the best, man.
He's
no doubt.
Yeah. He catches more than everybody else.
There's
no doubt about
it. He does a really good job.
So if you want to see a picture of this swordfish, Rock Cod Rick holding it, it's on our Facebook page. Let's Talk Hookup. On our Facebook page, as well as our Instagram, Hookup1090. That picture's up there, and it's all over the place. Anyway, that thing has had over, like, I don't know, tens of thousands of shares.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Like that. It's pretty amazing. So, as you can hear, we have a great show lined up for today. We'll get back to reality here, talk bass fishing and local fishing here with Captain Jimmy Decker.
One of my most favorite people. It's going to be just such a rad show. And you want to talk about a wealth of knowledge when it comes to fishing inshore and offshore. Jimmy participates in every marlin tournament and everything around. I mean, you want to talk about a wealth of knowledge. This is it. It's going to be a great show. And if you want to join us, we want to hear from you this morning. There's 2 ways that you can be a part of Let's Talk Hookup. First is with our local line. That's 858 area code 457-1090. Again, 858-457-1090. That's our local number. Or reach us toll-free. That toll-free line is 877-792-1090. One more time, 877-792-1090. Not only are we going to be taking your questions, not only are we talking to Captain Jimmy Decker all show, we've also got such a great prize for one lucky caller. You want to talking about that great bass fishing around Point Loma? Somebody's going to get to go do it. We're giving away a half-day trip for 2 aboard the Daily Double out of Point Loma Sport Fishing. Definitely includes tackle rental. If you want to bring a friend that doesn't have a bunch of gear, we'll set you up with the gear. It's an awesome trip.
Fishing with Captain Fred.
Oh,
are you kidding me? So so appropriate with Jimmy here, Mr. Bass, Southern California. Go fishing with Fred. the other Mr. Bass, Southern California there for sure. Hey, I'm going to add to the pot here. Woo. 2 lucky callers, including one's going to win. One's going to win the trip for 2 to the Daily Double,
nice.
and then 2 more callers are going to win 2 tickets to the CCA banquet that's coming up on August the 12th at the Portuguese Hall in Shelter Island there, right in San Diego. This is in conjunction with the BD Outdoors Offshore Shootout.
Okay.
So the shootout is August 10th. August 10th and 11th, actually. The fishing day is August 11th, and we need boats. This is a CCA, the very first Southern California CCA tournament, and we need boats to support this tournament. And it's a nice cash payout and prizes and great banquet. But you don't have to join the tournament to go to the banquet on August 12th. But if you want to join both, you get them both, and you go fishing and have a great time and have a chance to win some great prizes. The BD Outdoors Offshore Shootout and the CCA San Diego Chapter Banquet August 12th. But we're giving away 2 pairs of tickets for 2 to the banquet Sunday, August 12th at Portuguese Hall. It's going to be a really good time. So 2 lucky callers are going to win that. And if you want to go, you want to be a part of it, check out the CCA website. And Facebook page. We have all the information, as well as on BD Outdoors. There's a website that says bdoffshoreshootout.com if you want to join the shootout.
Awesome.
I got a reel. Is it okay if I donate, even though it's not your title sponsor?
Oh,
product?
That's okay.
I got a Abu Garcia Revo Toro B60.
Whoa!
That I'm going to be giving away, because I can't do a trip this time because my trip schedule is very limited.
Oh, yeah.
So I figured if somebody wants a really nice bass reel, it works good for that smaller schoolie tuna, too. So
nice.
Go ahead and throw that in the pot.
It's an Abu Garcia.
Abu Garcia Revo Toro Beast 60.
Nice.
65-pound braid reel, yeah.
So we'll give that away to one of the people that win the CCA.
Yeah, man, right on. Well, as you can hear, some unbelievable prizes, and better yet, just an awesome guy to get to BS some fishing with, and Jimmy Decker. Again, if you want to get your chance to win any of those great prizes or your chance to talk some fishing, 858-457-1090. Again, 858-457-1090 or 877-792-1090. And when we come back, we're taking your phone calls. Lots of info coming your way. You stay tuned. You're listening to Let's Talk Hookup on the Mighty 1090.
Hi, everybody. It's springtime, and summer's on its way. And now's the time to get outside and get on the water. Hi, this is Hayden Lane from Fast Lane Kayaks in Mission Bay, and let me tell you, we've got the tools to do it. From the world's best fishing kayaks, the Hobie Pro Angler, the Outback, and the Compass, to the high-performance and convenient inflatable I-11S. No matter what style fishing you're into, Hobie has the model that'll work for you, and we want to help you find it. So come down to our shop in Mission Bay, and let's try out some Hobie kayaks. We'll show you how to transport them, show you how to outfit them, and show you how and where to fish off them. And most importantly, have some fun, because that's what we're about, fun. And that's why we now carry Traeger pellet grills. We've all been cooking on them, and we can't stop talking about it. We have a full line of grills, as well as every pellet Traeger carries. So come down and talk kayaks or talk grills at Fast Lane Kayaks in Mission Bay in Dana Landing, across the street from SeaWorld. Or check us out online at fastlanekayaking.com.
The Yamaha Outboard Summer Power Sales Event is here. Until the end of August, eligible new select 90 to 200 horsepower 4-cylinder 4-strokes include 2 free years of Yamaha extended service. And eligible new 2.5 to 75 horsepower 4-strokes include up to $500 in dealer credit. Reliability starts here. Yamaha. Visit your local Yamaha Outboards dealer today. Offer ends August 31, 2018, subject to change at any time. Other restrictions and conditions apply. See authorized participating Yamaha outboard dealers for details. This promotion cannot be used with any other Yamaha offer.
Fifth Avenue Insurance has a new name. It's Snap Insurance, still providing anglers and boaters with the best in boat insurance and the lowest rates. The experts at Snap Insurance will make sure your boat and property are covered right. Traveling to Mexico? Snap has you covered. You can even work with your agent to wrap your home and auto with your boat policy to save even more. Call them for advice on your current boat policy or any of your insurance needs. Snap Insurance, 800-527-6617 or snapins.com. That's SNAPPINS.com.
Hey, this is Rosie with Cedros Sport Fishing. Cedros Island is considered the yellowtail and calico bass fishing capital in the world, and nobody does it better than Cedros Sport Fishing. We are committed to providing first-class service to our guests as well as an unforgettable fishing experience. We have made a good thing even better. We now have a direct flight departing to the CBX in San Diego. Leave home in the morning and fish in the afternoon. We have a beautiful waterfront lodge with first-class accommodations and meals. What are you waiting for? Call me at 619-772-7570 or check out cedrosportfishing.com. Book soon. Trips are going fast.
XEPRS 1090 AM, Rosarito, Baja California.
San Diego's sports leader.
The home of ESPN Radio.
The mighty 1090.
Welcome back to Let's Talk Hookup on the mighty 1090. Phones are packed up. The only line open if you want to talk to Jimmy is at toll-free number 877-792-1090.
All right, let's find out what's biting out there. The cast man, Richard Castaneda, is standing by. This report sponsored by Gamakatsu Hooks, Japan's leading fish hook. Sets the standard for quality and innovation, strength and durability. Hey, local tuna and yellowtail fishing, it's happening, and you should make that Gamakatsu Nautilus Circle Hook your go-to hook. It has the strength and the durability and the right design that makes it the hook to keep the bait on and get fish on the deck. Get Gamakatsu Nautilus Circle Hooks at your favorite tackle store. Buenos dias, Castman.
Buenos dias, boys.
What's up, Cass?
How's everything going?
Excelente.
Couldn't
What's
be
happening
better.
down in the Baja?
Yeah, well, let's start off with Cabo and San Jose del Cabo in the East Cape area there. Great fishing going on. Lots of striped marlin, for the guys who want marlin. Those marlin are there. They're starting to catch a few blues. They're starting to come in little by little. So as we get later into August and September, October, you'll see much more blues being caught at that time. Also sailfish, not in great numbers there, but they're there. Here again, late summer, fall, a lot more sails. And, of course, that area there from Punta Gordo all the way up toward the East Cape area there, especially around the Iman, San Luis, Vinarama area there, getting some nice quality tuna, up to 100 pounds. Not a lot of the big ones, but they occasionally they'll be fishing and looking, for those little football size or 20 to 30, and they'll hook into a 90 to 100. But there's plenty of bait to be had. A lot of sardinas right now. Also caballitos, and of course those guys want to fish roosters along those beaches. They're in there in good numbers now, and big fish, 60, 70 pound roosters, and of course if you can get some mullet, and it is available, then you can get some great shots of some big roosters. Those big roosters are just incredible. And once again, catch those roosters, release them. They're not good table fare, but man, are they a great game fish. Move up to La Paz there, around Cerrado Island there. Some big tuna being caught there, 60, 70 pound tuna. Not a lot, but they are hooking some big fish. They're losing a lot of big fish. The reason why is the guys are just undergunned as far as the line they're using. But sometimes you got to get those tuna to bite that light line and small hooks. And if you get one in, it's great. If not, you're probably going to lose a few. Here again, too, a few wahoo there on that southeast end around Roca Montaña. The X-Wrap, Rapala X-Wrap lures, the darker colors, taking fish there. Here again, great rooster fish around Las Arenas in that area. So some pretty good fishing going on there. We'll wind up with Loreto. A little scratchy this past week. Dorado bite one day, Dorado don't bite the next day. But they're getting some really nice Dorado. I might mention, too, in La Paz, they've got a really good Dorado bite going there. Most of the fish are around 20, 25 pounds, so it's good quality Dorado. And it's basically the same thing up in Loreto. Of course, they are getting some bigger bulls up to 40, 50. And, of course, along the beaches there, they're also getting some rooster fish. So some great fishing going on in that southern Baja, all the way from Loreto all the way down to San Jose del Cabo and Cabo San Lucas. And, Pete, we got that first Loreto Rumble coming up next May, 19 to 23. Let's Talk Hookup and Cast Tours are putting on this great trip down there. It'll be a 5-day, 4-night. You have your option of fishing 2 to 3 days, but created some pretty good cat packages there. Anybody wants to find out more on that can go to your website, Pete, on your trips page. And
That's right.
Also, they can check us out, too, at casttours@gmail.com. Anyway, anybody wants more information?
That's going to be a great tournament. I mean, first of all, I want to welcome La Mission Loretto, the wonderful hotel that's going to be the host of that tournament as a sponsor here on Let's Talk Hookup. This is their first week to be a part of us, and we hope for many, many, many months and years to follow, because it is a jewel in a wonderful city there, the La Mission. It's really a fantastic spot. That's going to be our host of the tournament, the La Mission, and you have the finest pangas in Loretto put together for this tournament. Fly direct out of Los Angeles, or you fly direct out of the Cross-Border Express in Tijuana on scheduled airlines there. Alaska flies out of LAX, and Aerocalafia flies out of Tijuana. Nonstop flight to Loretto. You've put together those packages. It's so reasonable, Cass, man.
Yeah, and we got everybody's gets upgraded to Ocean View room at the beautiful Mission, and those are gorgeous rooms with great views of the Sea of Cortez.
Really an amazing hotel, and right there, walking distance to the harbor, getting on that. But I believe it's May 19th, right?
Yeah, May 19 to 23, and going to have a lot of great prizes for the top three fishermen with the three biggest yellowtail, pargo, or cabria, and of course a lot of goodies to hand out, and a couple of cocktail parties, and just lots of fun and laughs and catching great fish.
Yeah,
that's good to me, buddy.
That's going to be so fun. It's going to fill up quickly because we only have 40 spots available. 20 rooms, 40 spots, double occupancy, two people per panga, right?
Yeah, 2 per room, 2 per panga. And it'll be a hoot.
Yeah, it's going to be Yellowtail, Pargo, Cabria tournament, and it's going to be a lot of fun and a lot of festivities. And I know that there's going to be some great prizes involved too. So if you want more details on that, go to our trips page at letstalkhookup.com. Complete details, and call Cass. Grab a room and a boat quickly because they're going to go quickly. How do we find you, Cass?
800-593-6510 or on the web at www.castours.com. Talk to you boys next Saturday.
All right.
Great job,
Talk to you next Saturday, and we're very excited again to have La Mission as a sponsor and host. It's so great to be able to feature this wonderful city of Loretto and the finest property in Loretto, the La Mission.
No doubt.
Really, really cool spot. Hey, let's go north to Katmai Lodge. Trapper and Bob are on the line. Good morning, guys.
What's up, boys?
Morning. Good morning, Pete. And how you guys doing today?
Hey, we're doing
Bob.
great. How's the fishing at Katmai this week?
Oh, man, it's really going hot here. It's crazy. There's 4 kinds of salmon in the river now. Baywide, our run right now is over 61 million fish, and they're still coming. We're 500,000 short of setting a record.
Whoa.
No kidding.
So there's tons of fish. 2 of us yesterday caught 33 pounds of sockeye fillets.
Wow.
And I'm coming, nose to tail. We're still running up the river. The run was 9 days late, according to them. They changed our limit from 5 to 10, so you can keep 10 sockeyes now.
Nice.
Because so many fish.
Wow.
We're catching lots of chum, and still catching kings. The pink salmon are starting to come in. In fact, we caught 6 of them just while we were fishing sockeyes.
Unreal.
And there's tons of them come yet. So
now, how does that affect the trout fishing?
Well, it doesn't hurt them at all. The trout are there, and the trout are happy. They're hanging around the pods of them, just hoping that there's a couple eggs slipping out early. Now, they're going to start spawning the kings and the chum the second week of August, the first to second week. Trout fishing is going to go crazy. You just got to match the hatch, and that would be a bead or a glow bug. And they're just gobbling eggs. They've got about 3 weeks to a month to eat them, and they go crazy on them.
Wow.
The bead, Pete, was something you told me about that I thought was such a trip that, I mean, it's literally just that. You know, you're catching these giant fish, and you're just using this bead that looks exactly like an egg that got detached and is rolling down the river, and these giant fish just sit there with their nose pointed into the current waiting for a loose egg to come rolling down. You just drop that bead in there. It looks just like an egg. And, boom, you know, you catch a 28-incher on this little teeny plastic round bead is just unreal to me.
Pretty crazy. So, Trapper and Bob, how does this bode for our trip 2 to Katmai at the end of August there? I mean, the flyouts, are those going to be off the charts?
Oh, yes, Pete. It's looking good. The weather's been holding. We had a little fog this morning, so that's all we have to deal with is in the morning fog. But as of right now,
it's all looking good for a good trout season doing the fly-ups.
Oh, fantastic. There should be plenty of what's the prediction for the silver salmon, the coho salmon that time of the year?
Well, they're coming over to another river, which we're usually 2 feet behind them over the Nushagak. They're starting to get them over there. So I expect to see them in about 2 weeks.
Wow.
Starting to show up here.
Oh,
and
cool.
the real big tides are going to be the second week of August, and they're going to be like 20-footers on both the AM and PM tide. So that's going to be, I do believe, if I know my fish, it's going to be when the huge runs are coming in. But, yeah, when you're talking about when you get here, there'll be plenty of silvers. There'll be going to be crazy trout fishing. When you get up to those upper streams, up Moraine and those, you'll be able to walk across the river. There's so many sockeye.
Wow, that's going to be fantastic. Well, we're looking forward to it. In the meantime, if somebody wants to book a trip, I know you're sold out for 2018, but 2019, or already trying to get dates for our Let's Talk Hookup trip for 2019. How do we get a hold of Katmai Lodge and book a trip in the absolute one of the most incredible places?
Well, you can go. There's 2 ways you can do it, Pete. You can go on the a telephone call. It's 1-800-330-0326, or you can just go on the internet and look up katmai.com. That's KATMAI.com.
All right, very good.
Awesome,
Trapper
Bob.
and Bob, thanks for giving us a call. Keep getting them, and we'll talk to you next week. Thanks a lot for the call this morning.
All right. Hey,
let's jump into those phones.
You got it, buddy. They are jam-packed. Why don't we start it off this morning with Jack, who's calling us from West Hills. What's up, Jack? Welcome to Let's Talk Hookup.
Jack.
First-time caller. I got a question for Jimmy Decker. Also, I enjoy your shows. I listen to the show every week. I've not called before. But the question is, I fish the Channel Islands, and I'm 87. I've been fishing the West Coast my whole life. And my question is, will they ever reduce the size of the calico back down to 12 inches as they build up the stock? And also, my second question is, in the Channel Islands, we don't not have an abundance now of sand bass. It seems like we used to catch sand bass like crazy in the flats of the Channel Islands, and we don't seem to be catching them anymore. Is that a possibility of the wipeout from the giant squid that went through there a few years back?
The first question, I doubt they'll ever drop the size limit back down to 12, and
because it's working, right?
Yeah, because it's working. There's those extra 2 inches or 2 more years or 2.5 years of spawning. So there's the reproduction's getting more and more, and cutting the bag limit down to 5. A lot of people weren't happy about it. I was. 5 calico.
Look how much better the calico fishing is now.
It's pretty darn good. But five is a good meal for 2 people or more. And the sand bass fishing, there's a lot of different theories on that. My personal take on it is the over harvesting during the 90s just decimated the brood stock of that fish. It's slowly coming back. We're starting to see it on the clam beds and some of the traditional spawning areas. Down here in Orange County and off of Oceanside. I didn't fish it up there around the Channel Islands that much. I know those squid did a number on a lot of fish when they were here, but if you go back through the record books and you look at the sport fishing counts of the heyday of Twilight and fishing for sand bass when their dock totals were 10,000 plus fish a day, it really knocked them down pretty hard, and it's taken a while for it to come back.
Yeah, for sure. Hey, thanks a lot for the phone call this morning.
When we come back, we got a lot more Let's Talk Hookup coming your way, including a lot of your phone calls. You stay tuned. It's Let's Talk Hookup on the mighty 1090.
This is Chelsea from Dana Landing in Mission Bay. We are truly the one-stop shop for a great day on the water. Looking for a fishing charter? Dana Landing has you covered with the Blackjack. Perfect up to 4 anglers, or the Impulse up to 6 anglers in comfort and style. Dana Landing has a huge tackle shop with everything you need to go fish bay bass, tuna, or marlin, and our staff will dial you in. We even have Mexican and California fishing licenses and reel repair. Our deli at Dana Landing is a local's favorite with all the food, ice, and beverages you need. Hey, need freshwater tackle? Head to East County Bait and Tackle, the ultimate in rods and reels, the latest freshwater lures and live bait. ECBT has a staff second to none when it comes to sharing their passion for fishing. ECBT is at the end of the 67 freeway on Mapleview and Lakeside. And Dana Landing is next to the Dana Launch Ramp in Mission Bay. Check out danalanding.com for more details.
Here's John Ireland for Rancho Leonero.
You know, the ranch is unique. It's one of the few places in the world where you can still drive ATVs up the beach. We have fishing from the beach. We have dive trips that we run to Pomo in a number of different spots. Kayaking, of course, has been real big. We were one of the first hotels to introduce kayaking. The ranch is small, you know, it's intimate. It's 34 rooms, so everyone gets to know everyone. The old saying, where everyone knows your name. Well, truly at Rancho Leonero, the employees do know pretty darn near all our guests' names. And what's even more interesting is most of the guests know each other's names. Very personal, very intimate, and a special, special environment. 2 miles of beachfront, a mile on either side of the hotel. Rancho Leonero is really the last of the old-style Baja fishing resorts. 1-800-646-2252. 1-800-646-BAJA. And RanchoLeonero.com. I'll personally guarantee your best fishing experience and vacation at Rancho Leonero.
For local and long-range fishing, the Islander out of Fisherman's Landing is a favorite among seasoned or novice anglers. But Islander Charters is much more than great fishing. They also do incredible Guadalupe white shark diving trips as well as a schedule of kayak mothership trips. You need to check out the Islander on their website, islander-charters.com. The Islander is San Diego's leader when it comes to 2 to 5 day fishing. Watch the website for trips and adventures available. Experience the Islander difference. Visit islander-charters.com for all the details.
Hey, it's time to talk about great gear from Shimano, and let's talk about Talica 20, the swordfish killer, right?
Yeah,
that reel, for as small as that reel is, what power?
It's the reason we caught that fish, man. If it's small and lightweight, and the mackerel that we had on board wasn't big, you know, it was smaller. We needed a reel with good free spool that you could cast a bait well, but have the power to deal with a big fish. And I don't think that there's a reel in existence that does that as good as Talica.
I mean, do you just button that thing down and turn the handle? It's got power and it's got drag.
It's got torque, yeah. It's in my opinion, compared to other reels with the same amount of load, it's the physically easiest on the angler to turn the handle, and that's what we did. Put the thing on the rail and put the reel into low gear and hang on the back of the rod and just start turning the handle, and it's always got power and it's always got drag, but a very lightweight spool that enables you to cast a mackerel a long ways.
Yeah, no doubt about it. The Talica 20 from Shimano, the entire lineup of Talicas, nothing like it. Get it at your local Shimano dealer.
I always wear a life jacket when I'm on the water because I'm lazy. I like floating like a giant turtle covered with SPF 50. The life jacket does the work. I highly recommend this to everyone. Save the ones you love. A message from California State Parks Division of Boating and Waterways.
Welcome back to Let's Talk Hookup on the Mighty 1090. Been a busy morning already. If you want to get through, have your chance at winning all of the great prizes. Again, half-day trip for 2 aboard the Daily Double. 2 tickets, 2 callers are each going to win 2 tickets to that great CCA banquet held as in conjunction with the BD Outdoors Shootout. And one of those 2 is going to win a brand new reel. And thanks again to Jimmy, an Abu Revo Toro Beast 60. How cool are all those prizes? Again, if you want to get your shot at winning any of these great stuff and your chance to talk to the man, 2 lines available. One on our toll-free number, that's 877-792-1090. And one on our local line, that one's 858-457-1090.
All right, let's jump into the phones, Rick.
You got it, man. How about we talk to Dan, who's calling us from Encinitas this morning. What's up, Dan? Welcome to Let's Talk Hookup.
Hey, morning, guys. Thanks for taking my call. This question's for everybody. I was recently on a charter boat, half day, and there was a angler who looked like was pushing a 9-pound calico just for the fact, just for the jackpot purposes. I just want to know your take on keeping big calicos, and will some captains keep that thing alive and then just wait out at the end and then let it go? Thanks.
Okay. Who wants to jump
Jimmy,
in
go
on this
ahead.
one? As far as keeping fish, it's angler choice. Personally, would I like to see it live and swim away? Of course. Have I ever eaten a big calico? Yes, I have. And did it taste terrible? Yes, it did. Those fish are very old. It's like eating a shoe once they get over 6 pounds, right in there. That 3 to 5 pound fish is like the prime eating size for me. There are boats that'll put that fish in the tank and I'll keep it alive, that do jackpots that way. There's more boats that don't. And, It's up to the anglers to be the stewards of the sea, and the guys that want to keep fish can keep them, and the guys that want to let them go can let them go.
Yep. Well said.
I feel the same on all of it, and I just want to take the little bit of hat off to our half-day boat of Fisherman's Landing, the Dolphin. Those guys always will, one, if they're not ready for it, will put a calico in the bait tank for the sake of letting it go at jackpot. But when the bass are biting well, they keep a digital scale on the boat, and anybody that wants to weigh a big one, but it's, jackpot is part of half-day fishing. It's what we all did. Those guys will weigh at the rail on a digital scale a big one and flip it back over immediately and use that weight as their jackpot if a guy wants to release fish. I think it's so cool of those guys to do that, for sure. And they have no problem putting them in the bait tank, but when they're fishing bass and they know big ones are biting, they weigh it on a digital scale, kick it back over right away.
Write it down, give them the option to let the fish go.
Exactly. Hey, jackpot fish right now is 6.2, and number 35 had it, and if
That's
you want to weigh yours up and at 6.5, that's fine. I think it's
a great
cool.
model for other boats.
Totally agree.
Yeah.
There. And what is a digital scale
Totally
cost?
fair.
20, $30, $40, and you have it on the boat forever. Yeah, I think it's rad.
Yeah, absolutely. Good one, Dan. Thanks a lot for the phone call this morning. Big event down at Crystal Pier in Pacific Beach today, the Kids Fishing Tournament. Good morning, Steve.
Hey, good morning, guys. I'm out here on the pier, and it's like the old Mervin's ad, if you remember, where everybody's pressed up against the wall going, open, open, open. We haven't quite let they're going to let the kids stampede out on the pier in just a couple minutes. So it's fairly peaceful out here. All the surfers in the lineup looking north, right in the surf line, they don't realize that in about 5 minutes they're going to have to back off about a quarter of a mile because it's going to be raining sinkers and number 10 hooks or shrimp on them and little sabiki rigs and little kids going, hey, watch out for my line. So and I got to give the San Diego anglers credit for really picking up the ball. Captain Ross retired, and this big event's been going on for a number of years. The kids love it. It's great for the sport. And gosh, I mean, I'm looking at their display. I wish I could get in the drawing because they got 2 bicycles.
Wow!
That kids are going to win, and they got rods and reels, and they got boogie boards. They got so much stuff. It's unbelievable here, and at least 100 loaner rods, and lots of volunteers, all of whom look like look at this group. They all look like expert anglers. So if you can't catch fish with these guys' help, maybe you should get the boogie board.
And the one and only Steve Carson there to help you out too, right?
Well, I'm definitely going to be here helping out as much as possible. Yeah. Again, all of us are sort of flying a little bit blind because although there's a lot of experience here, there's not a lot of experience with this exact event. But at the end of the day, we're going to be experts at running this event. And now I'm looking at Lewis, the president of the San Diego Anglers. San Diego Anglers Foundation.
Yes.
Oh, okay. All right, I gotta get it right. Look at this. They got Prince. They got Moana combos. They got the Disney Princesses combos.
That's cool.
Everything.
It's unbelievable.
And the crazy thing is, Steve, this is all free. Just bring your kids down to Crystal Pier right now. It starts at 8 o'clock. Bring them down. Free food, free fishing, free instruction, free everything for the kids today at Crystal Pier, thanks to the San Diego Anglers Foundation. Steve Carson, thanks for joining us. Appreciate the information, and have a great day with the kids down there at Crystal Pier. Appreciate that. Let's go ahead and jump back in the phones.
You got it, man. We're going to talk to Bob. He's calling us from Cerritos this morning. What's up, Bob? Welcome to Let's Talk Hookup.
Thanks for joining us,
Good
Bob.
Good morning. Thank you for taking my call. I just got back Monday from a 6-day trip down to Cedros, and the bass fishing was so-so. We didn't get anything real big, but our boat got 3 sea bass, and
nice.
They went 47, 48, and 54 pounds.
Whoa! Nice ones.
Yeah, they were toads, but the strange thing was that, they ate a 6-inch red MC swim bait on a lead head. We hooked them that way, and we were fishing in Punta Colorado in the kelp, and yeah, it was a real chore getting them out of that kelp, but we did manage to get them.
Congratulations.
But a question for Jimmy would be, what colors would you prefer, like fishing San Clemente on those evergreen crankbaits? And Do you switch out the trebles? Do you put trebles or singles? Because I took a bunch of hard baits down there, and I took the trebles off and put like 3 and 4/0 replacement hooks, single replacement hooks on them, and they didn't eat them real well down there. Or at least I couldn't get them real well on there.
Yeah, those single replacement hooks does change the action up of those crankbaits a little bit, and the hard baits. They just don't. They're not designed to swim with those single inline hooks on them. They work, but the crankbaits don't dive as deep, and they lose a little bit of their wiggle. My go-to crankbait colors are red, just like you caught those sea bass on the red swim bait. It's a lot of red crab around, and the bass like to eat shrimps and crabs and things like that. So the reds, and then the like the chartreuse green with the blue back are probably like my two go-to on the crankbaits. And then the big stick baits that I'm fishing right now, believe it or not, the one that I've been on for the last 3 weeks, that God, I pray I don't lose it. I mean, I've been fishing it every day. It's red and gold.
Okay.
If you can believe that.
Red and gold.
Red and gold. Gold bottom with a bright red top.
Really? Well, interesting.
Yeah.
All right.
So it doesn't really look like. I mean, you could mistake it for a senorita fish, maybe, something like that. But I don't know.
Like a surface iron, man. As long as it's swimming
as
right,
long as it's swimming right, it's going good. Yeah. I think those were the questions, right?
Cool.
Yeah, indeed. Hey, thanks a lot for the call this morning. Appreciate that.
All right. Hey, when we come back, we got more Let's Talk Hookup coming your way. More of your phone calls. Another full hour. We got catch reports. More with Jimmy Decker. You stay tuned. It's Let's Talk Hookup on the Mighty 1090.
Quality is the name of the game at Seaforth Sport Fishing in Mission Bay. Free parking and fully stocked tackle shop, plus a great fleet. It's no wonder Seaforth Sport Fishing is a favorite among anglers. Come aboard top boats like the Aztec, Cortez, Endeavor, Apollo, Outer Limits, El Gato Dos, Pride, Tribute, Tomahawk, Prowler, Pacific Voyager, and the Voyager. Plus, the new Seaforth, Sea Watch, and San Diego offer the finest half and full day trips available. Seaforth Sport Fishing. For charters or regular open party schedule, check seaforthlanding.com. Run by fishermen for fishermen in Mission Bay.
This is Captain Tim Ekstrom from the long-range vessel Royal Star. With my partners Randy Toussaint and Brian Sims, we have set the bar for the long-range fishing experience. A spring 8-day, summer 5-day, or a fly-down, fly-back 11-day winter trip, we deliver the highest quality long-range voyage you will find. From our premium RSW fish storage to our top-of-the-line chefs and crew, Royal Star distinguishes itself from all others. Want to grab a spot on the Royal Star? Check us out at RoyalStarSportFishing.com or call Tracy at 619-224-4764.
You've heard all about it. You know the angler's catching fish habit, so what's holding you back? It's a fact. FishDope.com really does help you catch more fish and burn less fuel. FishDope.com is the only fish finding service with a spotter plane along with a crew of top anglers on the water almost every day that report actual locations and catches. You can get daily catch reports from Point Conception to San Martin Island, 365 days a year. FishDope.com is for everyone, whether you have your own boat, fish on your friend's boat, or a sport boat. FishDope.com has online planning tools, moon phase, tides, hot bite icons, and more. So bottom line is, if you don't have FishDope.com, well, you're probably missing a lot of bites. Membership costs less than $50 of gas, and that's for the entire year. That's right, 1 year. What a bargain. Plus, use the special code to save $20 on a new FishDope.com membership. Check it out today. FishDope.com. Catch more fish, burn less fuel.
XEPRS 1090 AM, Rosarito, Baja California.
San Diego's sports leader.
The home of ESPN Radio.
The Mighty 1090.
This is Pete Gray to tell you about one of my favorite places to fish in the world. It's Whalers Cove Lodge in Angoon, Alaska. For several years now, we've been hosting groups at Whalers Cove, and this is certainly one trip I do not miss. Each year, the Powers family makes great improvements to the lodge that make this great lodge even better. New rooms, new boats, new fish processing facilities, new outdoor kitchen. The list goes on and on. As for fishing, the calm waters around Whalers Cove are 100 miles from any large town, so you will enjoy wilderness adventure without the crowds. Whalers Cove Lodge has some of the best salt and freshwater fishing in Alaska, and there's no need for a bumpy boat ride for hours. You can find productive fishing for salmon, halibut, and rockfish just 10 minutes from the lodge. Here's the deal. The word is out on Whalers Cove, so you you want to go? Book soon. WhalersCoveLodge.com or call 800-423-3123. WhalersCoveLodge.com for the Alaska fishing experience of a lifetime.
Many years ago, Baja pioneer Bob Van Wormer found the area he called the Great Fish Trap in the East Cape of southern Baja and built what is now regarded as the premier East Cape resorts of Palmas de Cortez and Playa del Sol. Today, following in their father's footsteps, Bob's sons, Bobby, Chucky, and Eddie, have taken Palmas de Cortez and Playa del Sol to new levels with the largest sport fishing fleet in Mexico, a luxurious spa, and top-of-the-line resort amenities. Van Wormer Resorts have become a destination for travelers worldwide. But for us, Palmas de Cortez and Playa del Sol are just a short 2-hour flight away. No other tropical fishing destination offers the experience and value that you'll find at Palmas de Cortez and Playa del Sol. Now you can plan your Baja fishing vacation quick and easy by visiting VanWormerResorts.com. And when you're ready to book, it's quick and easy. Or simply call 877-777-TUNA for more information. Van Wormer Resorts, the East Cape's finest.
It's summertime in San Diego, and that means a couple of things. The getting is good for yellowfin and bluefin off our Southern California coast. A road trip to bag some high Sierra trout sounds like a great weekend. And the Ford Summer Sales event has started at your San Diego County Ford dealers. In fishing, we love to get away, and we love to have the best gear. And right now is the perfect time to upgrade to a brand new Ford truck or SUV. The absolute best piece of fishing gear you could have. During the summer sales event, your San Diego County Ford dealers have great offers on a wide variety of trucks and SUVs, including great financing and cashback offers on some of the most popular models. They've got deals across their lineup to get you into the perfect size SUV for you. And they've got deals on F-150, Motor Trend's 2018 Truck of the Year. Great payload and towing capabilities make it the perfect piece of tackle. Learn more at BuyFordNow.com or visit your San Diego County Ford dealers today. They'll be glad to hook you up.